Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Welcome in to Ghost Story Nights with the Living Dead. How are you guys? Thank you guys for joining us.
Who is with us today so far? We got Alyssa Stenberg in the house. How are
Hey
you?
Amusement Park Pirates, welcome in.
A long time no see. How is everyone doing out there? It's been a while, hasn't it?
All right, so we're really excited about tonight. We have got on, we talk about her all the time, and that is Louise, and she does the head investigation. Her and her husband Matt for a lot of the paranormal stuff that we go on and do. Let's see, make sure everything's working here. It looks like we are on. Gaming with James. Brian, welcome
Hey,
in.
what's going on? Gaming with James. We got Brian Hernsberger in the house.
So we're going to go ahead and bring in Luis, and we're going to go ahead and introduce what we're going to be talking about tonight. Hey, Kitty, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, Beetlejuice Sanchez and
Hello.
Kitty.
Hey, there she is. You guys, welcome, Luis. We're going to call this to the stage here. For night. She's often in our chats, and tonight we get to see her beautiful face on the screen. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank
Hey,
you.
how are you? Welcome in.
Thank
Uh,
you for having me. This is definitely a
so
little weird for me, but it'll be fun. So,
I know. So she's not used to this part, but I kind of dragged her into this tonight. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a paranormal investigation we did not quite a year ago. And back then, we weren't really doing the live stuff like we're doing now. And we hadn't really done the premieres. And we have really found that we like to present our investigations on this forum. So we've used this forum a couple of times now. And so we also didn't really have nearly as many people in our audience when we first introduced this video. And so the first time we went to a mortuary to do an investigation. Why don't you take it from here, Louise?
oh gosh. So, basically, I don't know how many years it's been, but my sister messaged me on the way to work, and she's like, "K Frog, the radio station, the country music station, is looking for ghost hunters." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Contact them." So I contacted them on Facebook Messenger. They got right back to me. And from then on, we've had a relationship where we've done investigations with the morning host, Kelly. It was a different host back then. Now it's Guy, which he's in this video. And usually around Halloween time, they'll hit us up and ask if we can do an investigation and stuff like that. So, and then one of the listeners called in and said, "Hey, I work at a mortuary. You guys got to come in." And then I got a phone call from Kelly. And then that's how it happened that I invited Jolene to come with me. And yeah, so it was a very interesting location. You know, it's not the typical mortuary at all. It is very, how do you say it?
Busy.
Busy.
It's not like your
Yeah.
small town or even big town feel. They
It's,
definitely
yeah.
process. I hate to use the word process, but they process a lot of people through there.
Yes. They had, they get the overflow from the county. They had bodies there for years because of COVID, over a span of years, that people were not claimed or whatnot, you know. So it was a very full morgue. So, and I was I was the only one who actually stepped inside, other than like the staff, you know. And you definitely get to smell all those chemicals and all that fun stuff. And we were allowed to take photos, but nothing with like names. So we're not even going to mention the mortuary's name because they wanted that low key, you know. But it was very interesting that night for sure. And it was just an experience that I don't think we'll ever forget, or we won't even forget the smell at all. It was, yeah. And then we went back a second time, but we didn't go to the morgue at all. I don't think anybody really wanted to go there. So the first night we went, yeah. So it was crazy. But I mean, it was kind of a humbling experience to see, all of the people who are still there, and
Yeah.
it was, yeah. So, and they had,
Thank you, Drezo.
everybody from adults to babies. So, yeah.
A lot of John and Jane Does, and
Yes.
that was really eye-opening as well.
Yeah.
People that had just been there for years and are nameless and don't have any family or friends to help them get to that next stage. And that was heartbreaking as well. It wasn't what you picture in your head. And having worked in a hospital before, I kind of had my in the box idea of what a morgue looked like. And this wasn't it.
No. And then they actually, in that first room that they took us in, they had somebody who just passed away.
And we weren't really prepared for that. We weren't prepped. We walked in and there he was.
Yeah.
We just saw 2 feet sticking out in the end, like you literally would in a movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of shook you. It shook you a little bit. It was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you see like all the chemicals and like all of the instruments that they use and all the machines or whatnot to prep the bodies, and how the little rig, how they hold them up so they can dress them. It was just, it was an experience. So,
yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was.
And the gentleman who was showing us around was actually the person that prepped everybody and got them ready. He did the embalming and he just kind of ran everything downstairs. And when we went into the facility, we went down a ramp, so into a basement. So the parking lot was ground level. We went in like the shipping and receiving area.
Yeah.
And so it went down into the basement, and the whole basement was basically the morgue part, if you will, where they prepped everyone and got them ready. And you walked into essentially a huge freezer. And there were these big metal racks that held everybody, because again, this place is just really not quaint. It's a bigger facility and they have a lot more people come through. So they have to have more storage than 1, 2, 3, or 4 at a time. And again, they also have to store those that are the John Does and Jane Does that we don't know who they are. You can't process them until you know who they are. So that in of itself was haunting. It's still haunting. You still wonder if they're there.
Yeah. And then the thing that kind of, I think, got everybody was the babies that were there. Yeah. That part was, I think, I know he did tell us one story. I don't know if I'll share that one, but there was I think he said stillborns, maybe? Did he say stillborns? I think some stillborns were there. There was another one, and he did show us, well, I think I was the only one who looked at the picture.
Yeah.
So there was another story that was very intense. So I won't share that one. So just, out of respect for the little one, because no, I'm not. That one was pretty.
I know I kind of had to back away from it all.
Yeah.
I had to excuse myself. I was still down there, but it was too much between honestly the smell and there was a more recent close passing for us at that point in time, especially, I had to just kind of remove myself so I didn't bring a whole bunch of attention to me.
Yeah, and that's totally understandable. And I think I was the only one. Like Matt didn't go in there to look. Kelly or Guy didn't go in there. I was the only one who went. I'm like, I want to see. I want to pay my respects. You know, it wasn't like, oh, this is cool. It's like, no, I want to see what these people are going through, or what after you pass, this is what happens with your body. You know, so I felt like I wanted to pay my respects to them. You know, in a sense. So
absolutely, yeah.
But it was. I don't know if I would do it again. Probably not.
No. And the second time we went there, we didn't. We bypassed that altogether.
I didn't even.
I think they were
kind of glad I didn't either.
Yeah.
No, I think they said that they were even more busier than the last time. That's what, and they wouldn't let us go back because there's too many down there.
Right.
So, and I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Because there's
good.
2 other parts of that mortuary that were in, you know, that we can investigate, and that was fine, you know. So we didn't have to go there. We didn't even investigate the morgue. We just got a tour, paid our respects, and then moved on. We didn't. There's no need to investigate a morgue at all. You know, you know, let them be. You know, so that was, you know, there's no reason for that at all.
So the big premise of why you were invited there this evening was, again, there was here in Southern California in the Riverside County, there's a fairly popular country music station, and the morning show hosts, one of them didn't believe in ghosts. And so this was all put together. It was really close to Halloween for the season. And thank you for joining us, Drazo. I appreciate you coming in. And so the premise was to do this investigation, see if we had any activity, and at the end to see if he believed or not. And so we took some video. Forgive me, it's on the vertical. But Kate says her sister's a mortician. She received her calling at 40 and got her training. I respect her so much. I can't imagine it. Honestly, Kate, it takes someone very special to handle that job and those people and their families and the process. Hats off to your sister, but there is a calling and there is a need, and that doesn't escape us. And the respect for that calling, that need, where we were, none of that's taken lightly at all. But it was an experience that not many necessarily get to have unless you're in the business. And so I'm going to go ahead and start the video. So thank you to the new people that are in here, Drazo and Kate. We've made friends with them from another friend that's a paranormal investigator. We'll go ahead and drop their link here. Can you drop Married with Paranormal for me?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to make it in tonight or not, but I definitely want to drop their link for everybody. And so if you haven't watched us before, we kind of play the video for you. We've obviously had to take out a lot of stuff for privacy purposes, but we did, Luis and I kind of do an intro at the beginning where I just wanted people to know how we met Luis, how I met Luis, and how this all came about. So you'll see that. And then as we go through the video, if there's things to stop and explain, we'll definitely go ahead and stop and explain. So I am going to bring on the other screen right here, and I'm going to go ahead and play that now. Hey there. So today, my friend Louise gave me a phone call, an unexpected phone call, an opportunity to come with her today. And boy, we weren't here too long and had a lot of experiences. And Louise has been a blessing in our life since some hard losses that we've gone through, and have just really connected with her. She has gifts, and I'd like her to tell you about them.
She actually have done past investigations with the radio station K-Frog, and years ago my sister's like, K-Frog needs ghost hunters, like, so I messaged him on Facebook and I got in touch with Kelly, the morning host of K-Frog, and we've done a few investigations with them here and there, and then this was one of them. So one of the callers called in the other day and said, come to our location, and we did. And with me, I come from a family of psychics, so I this is like in our blood. So my abilities come through when I do my healings, my Reiki, and then sometimes with ghost hunting. So it's not like a consistent thing, but when I do have like my flashes, or I don't want to say premonitions, or, well, it could be visions or whatnot, but usually I try to make sure that I'm like very accurate with what I experience. So I don't really ask too many questions before, so then I can validate myself and the client afterward. And so it's been really cool to put my gifts to different areas of my healings, and then especially with investigations, because it's been really cool. And we had a non-believer today,
Yeah.
and he got to experience some really cool stuff, and I think that he's on the flip side, or headed that way, so which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I knew we had a skeptic tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm like, we have to make him believe, or like experience something that he's never experienced before. And that's what he wanted. That's what he stated before we went in. And this place is amazing. It has some heavy energy for sure. But then we had a really good experience upstairs with a lady who's been here with the land for probably quite a long time. So it was really cool. So I can't wait to like review pictures and see if we got anything on film together. So
I definitely heard some noises in one of the back rooms that was audible. So when it's dark, it's hard to capture all these things on camera. But overall, it's a really cool experience. So.
And we're allowed back.
Yeah.
So Damien, you
Right?
can come this time. I mean, he probably could have came tonight too.
I know. That's all right. It
Next
gives
time.
us incentive to do another.
Yeah.
Do another. And the owners of this mortuary are just awesome people.
Oh,
Awesome people.
they were awesome, and they said we're welcome back anytime, and we're definitely gonna book another investigation with more people. And yeah, it was amazing. So yay!
Pretty cool.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
So this thing, it's literally energy that's made it.
Yes, the K2 meter, when it measures the electromagnetic, same as this more or less, but this one's unfortunately being.
All right, so I think this is a good place to pause and explain and kind of set the stage for what we just walked into here.
Yes.
All right, so there is somebody there. Earlier in the day, just before we got there, maybe a couple hours before, they had service.
Yeah.
And it was packed. There were a lot of people there for this particular service. We did not know going in that someone was going to be in this area here. What do you call this room, Louise?
Maybe
Like a sanctuary. I don't want to say a sanctuary.
maybe
like
the chapel.
like a chapel. There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the chapel part. Yeah.
So we didn't know that somebody was going to be here. Obviously, again, with it being as busy as it is, it makes absolute sense. But we didn't know that someone would be left behind for the purposes or non-purposes of this. And then to later find out, how he passed and everything else, but because there were so many people at the service, I believe even out onto the street.
Yeah, I think there was like over 100 or something there.
Yeah, the energy left over in this room was extremely intense, extremely intense. So we're just kind of coming in, and the other two people that you're going to see, besides obviously myself, Louise, her husband Matt, you're going to see the radio show hosts Kelly and Guy, and also later comes in the owners of the mortuary. And he had a lot of amazing stories as well. I don't know that I captured them all, but he's one of those people that you could probably sit down and talk to for hours upon hours upon hours. He's a great storyteller.
We need him in our life.
I know, right?
I know, right? I should text his wife.
I know. He's got, I imagine, so many stories from his experiences. He had been in law enforcement and then was brought into this business here, which he's been in for years and years and years. So his experiences run deep. So to set the stage here, we're now in the chapel area where we're going to start our investigation.
Being very inaccurate. This is jumping around completely, but that one, I mean, look at that. It's going all the way to red at times.
That's so crazy how you walk towards the body that happened. I feel like I'm being pumped and sort of set up.
That guy was murdered. So, who knows?
Can I walk back this way and see if there's anything?
Yeah.
However,
I want to see that too.
Oh, it's still in orange. But just a second ago, it was all green.
Yeah, but
I mean,
You got a light?
yeah, this is like really hot spot right here.
something interfering right
Did you get that picture where it's all red?
Look.
Oh, it's all red.
Yeah.
there. Nice.
Oh. Yep, I hear it.
There's what I get to do.
I feel like this is the sixth sense and that Jason's really not real.
You're real, right? I swear I'm good, bro. I go right to me.
now we're locked in here.
I know, I should have.
Oh, you see my knee and my face right now?
Yeah.
That's some real
The
shit.
fire is straight out of the movie, man.
Do we know the guy's name?
Trishan. Yeah, I had it today. That's what I remember we were shorts and tank top. Yeah, we had about probably 200 people here. Last time we had a Zoom for 4 to 8. Now there's only like 10 people, but today we probably had a couple hundred.
Okay, now tell me what you're saying.
Oh, why is it all like?
Yeah, overcast. Yeah, he's actually going to be cremated. So what we do is we
Say the different color change.
Yeah. Cold?
I don't know.
Because he was on refrigeration, maybe?
There's already thermal readings that are going off. This thing is going off like crazy.
Is there something here?
When she said she felt the energy, did you immediately know what she was talking about? Did you feel different?
Yeah, she said it felt heavier in here, and all of a sudden I was like, is this my bronchitis or is this a ghost?
I feel it too. I just don't know if it's because she said it or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Oh my gosh.
Here you guys went off randomly at the same time. So is this Is there high energy possibility in this room?
Especially
like
this, yeah.
And plus,
That's
with all of
really
like
high.
the emotions and the energy from 200 people mourning
200.
the loss of this person,
Yeah, that energy can still be
that
in here
energy
as well.
is still here. So that, I mean,
Right.
it
Well, I
was,
think today,
it
right?
was a packed house.
But yeah, that's correct.
So, I mean, that energy alone can, you know, but this is probably we can voice. And sometimes when you talk to a spirit, like the voices will come through here. So
Randomly, words will pop out. And then goes for one part again.
so you can deal with that. Do you have a voice recorder on your phone?
So his name was Ray Shaw. They called him Ray.
Right?
Yeah, his name was Ray Shaw.
And I want you to use them too, so you know that I'm not moving
Okay.
them. Okay.
Cross yes, away no.
Cross yes, away no.
Okay.
Is there anybody here with us right now? Can you come closer to the red light? We're not here to harm you or scare you or disrespect you. We just want to communicate with you.
Hear that noise?
What was that?
He's over there. Did you make that noise? Did your friends and family call you Ray? It's moving. It's just reluctant. Do you know what happened to you? Do you know how you died? It was a big no.
Did you see them?
It was a big no.
I wasn't recording. I was freaking out.
It was a big no.
I'm gonna turn this.
Yeah.
How do you turn this off?
Did you get it all?
The top.
Did you see when they went? Look at.
Wow. What's going on here?
Wow.
Does that mean Ray's here?
Ray, are you here? There's like this push and pull.
You can feel it.
Yeah, come here. You can do it.
Oh, God.
The all stars. Ray, are you here with us today?
This one should be pretty.
It's like this really big push and pull.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to answer.
It's not. I'm not shaking.
Yeah.
But it is.
Can you come closer to the light? Little soon as you hear making noise. Do you know who killed you?
You said no?
Well, she's also using the pendulum. And
Yes.
the way the pendulum moves with answering questions as well.
So I sent you an info.
Oh, I can see them. Sweaty.
That feels right.
Feeling anything? You're not doing it?
Yeah.
What?
You want to try?
Yeah, you have to do that. Oh,
They just randomly move like that?
yes. That was not
Just keep
me.
your hands as still as possible, and they will move if they.
I just hold on.
Yeah, just gentle.
All right, so we were gonna pause right here and let you know that it's going to be Kelly that is taking the dowsing rods, and she's going to start having the experience for herself. But we were going to pause this and give you a little backstory into what happened and how this person ended up here this day.
So after the investigation, the owner came up to us and he gave us a little more information about how this individual passed away. And we did ask some questions about, like, oh, was your wife here? Because he had a wife and he had kids. And I believe that the rods crossed for, like, or went away for no, like she wasn't there. So I'm like, there's something going on that's weird about the wife thing. So I'm like, okay. So we didn't get anything until like after it. And he said that he was murdered and that the wife hired somebody to murder him. So that is why the wife was not at the funeral. So we got a little bit info on that. And yeah, so that made the whole experience a little bit more heavier, knowing how he passed away and under what circumstances. So it was, yeah, it was interesting and kind of like made that whole experience a little bit more heavier in a sense. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't somebody who passed away from like cancer or like of old age. It was like heavy stuff. So yeah, so that was yeah, that was very eye-opening, because you don't hear that often. You're like, what just happened? So yeah, so unfortunately he did pass away in very horrible circumstances. I'm not saying we know any of his past or what was going on,
and
we
he
have no
was
idea.
from the area here. He somehow was coming from a different state. So the murder,
Arizona.
yeah, the murder did not occur in Southern California.
No.
It occurred in Arizona, and somehow he ended up here in Southern California.
I think the uncle used to work at the mortuary or did the landscaping. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's right. So the murder didn't occur in Southern California. It actually occurred in Arizona. But yeah, Luis was definitely feeling something going on and some sort of connection to the ex-wife. And she brought that up, and they kind of conveyed that, yeah, and that there's some suspicions that lied in that direction as well.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we can't say for sure because we don't know what happened in any form of trial or arrests or whatnot, but the gist of the story was that. So
yeah, definitely. And we haven't really looked into what has happened with that, so maybe we can follow up on that.
I Googled after I got home. I did, but I could not find anything.
Okay.
And I know I did know at one point the last name. I know the first name, but the last name I don't remember.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I couldn't find anything. But it just recently happened, and yeah, I was searching Arizona newspapers. I was looking for everything because I wanted to know more info about this person, you know. So, but
Yeah.
no such luck.
All right. We'll keep going.
Not too tight, not too loose. And then just ask a yes or no question. Can you come closer to Guy?
Ray, are you at peace?
I'm getting no.
No.
He can't understand your accent, Guy.
That's the issue. Ray, did you see your family today?
See if he's still in. Here, I want you to do his teeth. Yes, he did see family. Okay, so look at it. Rephrase, we're unsure. We're just doing yes or no.
Can you make that device go off again, Ray?
Oh my gosh. How did it do that?
When you were asking, were they together?
She was asking a
And
question.
that wasn't even like a loud question either.
Mm-mm.
That was creepy as hell. It's still going.
What does that mean, yes or no?
Why is it still going?
Well,
No,
Look at this one go.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
when she asked that specific thing, were they together, right? Is that how you said
they
it?
were together and pointed to
And
my
pointed
Oh
to
my God, look it.
And
Oh my God, now I'm struggling to put it back. No, I'm doing that.
Oh, you did that.
It's shaking.
Oh.
I didn't do the thing that just made it do a 180. Look, it's doing it again.
Ray, do you have kids?
Oh,
Whoa.
Remember, crossing the rods is yes, away is no. So just go ahead and shake them out.
yeah, shake them out a little bit and then
Reset
reset.
'em?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
Do you have kids, Ray? Are they your kids?
This is throbbing. Yeah.
This one's shaking on me.
Did you have kids? Yes. Were your kids here today?
I can't believe what it did before. It just went all the way around.
That's crazy.
What the heck?
Did you see your mom?
Was his mom here? She was.
Brothers, sisters.
Was he married?
Yes. Wife wasn't here then.
Was your wife here today? Where was she? Let's go look at that relationship then. That's weird.
What?
It's just that
Pissed off.
you mean no disrespect or no harm. We just want to communicate with you. Do you have a message for somebody?
Yeah, there's.
Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make that noise?
Feels a little quiet.
Mm-hmm.
They're electric, so I shut them off. I came back up to my routine, I turned, I went downstairs to make sure the doors were locked. You know, and I came back up, I stepped into the doorway and the candles were on again. So I went back down, I turned the candles off, and I was standing down here, right where the casket is at, there was a casket down here. And I turned, and there was a man standing in the doorway back there.
You saw him.
Huh?
We just there.
Yeah, he was standing there, but he was not looking at me, he was looking straight ahead, right where my wife was at, right there. I said, you know, we live in an interesting area. I thought maybe he fell asleep or something, you know. I said, can I help you? No. I said, sir, can I help you? He stepped back, just stepped back. I said, dude, can I help you? So I ran up, literally ran up, turned, this door was closed. I turned, and if you walk up that ramp, it's hollow underneath, so it makes a noise, thump, 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 okay? No noise. I turned, I ran back downstairs, ran down to the preparation area, and there was no one there, and the door was locked from the inside. And I saw this guy. It wasn't an apparition, it was a full-form person standing there.
So we had investigators here in about 2007, six, seven. And they came in, and at the time we were renting out our apartment upstairs. It's a 2,000 square foot apartment. And there was a family that was up there, and they had done some renovations up there, they like a new bathroom or whatever. So they would only allow the investigators to work here and down in our prep room. And the reason for that is because the wife had just had a baby. She was probably about 2 months old, and they had a baby monitor. And they knew she had seen a spirit with the baby, and she didn't want to disturb it because she was sensitive. She wasn't asensitive, but she was sensitive to it. And she didn't want to upset it because she felt like the spirit was watching over Genesis, and she would not, the baby, and she wouldn't allow us to go upstairs.
So if you want to go up,
So
you can't.
upstairs
No one's
is
ever
that-
really done that.
Absolutely want to do that.
Okay. Well, there's like, so we have the basement, we have
When you went to the basement.
here, we have the office
You
floor.
told them about what happened between
We
you
have
and I.
Yeah.
We have,
Oh.
way upstairs is an open attic, and
Yeah,
it's the
that's the
same
thing.
size. There's nothing up there, well, it's really hot up there, but I'm just trying to, we have stairs on every level, but.
When you go upstairs, you gotta go upstairs.
Yes.
I was telling you the story about the baby that was upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So the bed stayed here, and then they had the crib over in this area. So this is where the monitor would have been set up, and this is where. Okay.
So this is
You want to put the REM pod on the dresser there?
yeah.
Anywhere you want.
Go ahead and put it up there. Okay, so let's get you up to speed a little bit. So again, this place is 3 stories. We've got the basement where the mortuary was, the first floor where there's, you know, your waiting area, your offices, and the chapel. Upstairs, you heard him talking about that there's an apartment up there, and there was. And so there's this really thin stairway that we went up, old, creaky, I mean, really thin, and you had to duck to kind of get up there to go up into the next area. And up there were what, maybe 3 or 4 bedrooms, was it?
I think so, something like
Yeah.
that. And there was like a kitchen, a living room, and then like a maybe like a family room type area.
Mhm.
It was pretty big, actually.
Yeah.
It was pretty big. I think maybe 2 bathrooms,
Yeah.
but the staircase going up is so narrow. It was,
Yeah.
it was,
It
they could
pretty
definitely
much
widen
was
that up.
it pretty much was the whole length of the building. So it was
Yeah.
just kind of long and narrow, and it had like one main hallway through it with some rooms off to each side.
Yeah.
So after we kind of wrapped up a little bit, and again, we were there for hours, so it's hard to include everything,
Yeah.
or you just have a lot of downtime, if you will. So we try to capture what we can and share what we can. But at this point, we kind of moved upstairs to where the owner of the mortuary was telling us that the people that were living there years ago had some experiences. So we moved the investigation upstairs, and that's what you're going to be viewing now. Again, it's dark. It's hard to see the things. Dave Averino asked if we use the ghost box.
We did. Sometimes it's very hard to hear things properly coming through it. So it's not my favorite tool to use at all. But we have used it before. So, and I think we did use it upstairs. I know we definitely used it downstairs, probably upstairs as well. But I tend to not like that one as much. That's just my personal preference.
Yeah.
It's hard to capture stuff, and you're like, did I hear that correctly? So, and it's just, for me, it's okay, so I tend to use it once in a while.
I think everyone has their, hey, Achu, welcome in. I think everyone has maybe a preference. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that love the ghost box. With my experiences with Luis, I really love the rods, honestly.
Me too.
I really, and when you first brought them out, when we first used them, I think I didn't know what to think. And then through doing it with you time and time and time again, I've gotten to really trust them, for a lack of better words. And then in our last investigation, if you watched 2 weeks ago, the EVP, that like blew me away. I would really like to hone in a little bit more on the EVP, but definitely we've got some friends. We dropped a link to you earlier. His favorite thing really seems to be the ghost box, and he uses that a lot. So, Dave, to answer your question, I think everyone kind of has their tool that works for them. We did use the ghost box up there. I did use my app a little bit, which I don't lean on too much. I just kind of put it on to see if anything ends up coinciding. And sometimes you don't even realize then in that moment that things will coincide until you get home and go back through the video footage, and you're like, oh, this does marry with this. It sure does. So a lot of times I think I've been dismissive of that. And then I go back and I'm like, nope, look at this. They did in fact coincide. So I think everyone has their tools and what they like best in their tools. And
Exactly.
I think I've really come to like the rods, and I really would like to mess with the EVP a little bit more because we saw it work in a way I didn't even realize you could use it in our last investigation. So let's go ahead. I'll push play and we'll keep going on now that we are upstairs above the mortuary.
Don't fall asleep up here. Your body beat you up.
Right, your body whooped my.
Too close to it. Just turn it on and too close to it. Yeah, I was gonna say it should stop.
Turn the lights off.
Right there.
Let me get the
But, need some?
yes.
Okay, now that's working a lot quicker this time. So downstairs they weren't moving so quickly. So things going off.
That thing has not stopped since we walked in from downstairs. Oh. Are you male?
Oh, man.
Crazy.
Okay.
That's Are you female? Female. Okay.
That device up there makes different colors as well. Can you make other colors come out on that device? Just get really close to it.
Were you the spirit that was protecting the baby? Yes.
Get out of here. Get the hell out of here.
That really just happened?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yes.
Were you related to the baby and the family that lived here? No.
There's no way that no one knows that. No one would have known that. No one would have known that crazy. Yeah. Oh, I got the chills. Okay, cool.
This one's way more responsive than Ray.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how you passed away?
How you doing?
Yeah, I want to make sure that's true.
Yeah.
Have you been here a long time?
Come on. Yes. Oh,
It's pulling away.
that's no, right?
It's a no.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
Keep on. We should do that.
There's no like real
Yeah, if
scientific like
yeah,
why.
If
It
there's
just
no
does.
explanation, then it could be paranormal. That's the whole point of the things
I
that we
should
use,
have
the
brought my
devices.
stuff to do my writing.
Yeah, she does writing.
I do automatic writing.
You're welcome
So
to
I
that.
do. I totally like
What do you need?
We would
ear
need
canceling, like noise
noise-canceling
canceling
headphones.
headphones,
Oh,
stuff like that.
okay. I'm like paper pen. I got it. I'm
Yeah.
gone.
And then somebody in another room
We
asks questions, and then I
away
wait
from
down the
her,
answers.
and then she'll write down the answers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Ask this former person another question. What do you call him? Spirit? Ask the spirit.
Spirits. Yeah. Are you here by yourself?
Oh, it's already starting to go away, right?
Did you have children of your own?
reset them.
Oh.
Yeah, just kind of, yeah.
So let's
Ask
ask that one again.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we tell
So just wait like this.
No, you can go ahead.
Did you? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Did you have children of your own?
She's bubbling away.
I think I know why. It's okay. You can come closer. You can tell us. There's like a reluctance.
He likes you better.
But I'm glad it did answer for you. You could.
At the beginning,
You
you
weren't
weren't
living
looking
there.
away that way.
Yeah. But yeah, and you.
Did you have your funeral here?
This right one's bubbling away. She just not like me.
Were my questions? I'll back up.
It's her magnetic personality.
Do you not like men?
Maybe I asked that
That's a,
differently.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Have you been hurt by a man? No? Okay.
Just ask, do you like men? Do it that way and the not in there.
Do you like men?
Oh,
Okay.
no. High five to her.
Maybe that's why she's not talking.
That explains it. You want to try?
You try?
You good.
Give me
Come on, you got it.
Give it a try.
Do it.
Oh my God.
So
Said yes.
there
to you.
there are other spirits that come in and out. So some of them may not stay.
Mhm.
So she is here. She's been here since that family was here.
She's been here before then.
before that.
Yeah.
Are you
So-
are you from the land? Yes.
That would make more sense.
She's okay.
What is that? What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Native American.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a huge Indian thing here back in the
Oh, look at,
1850s.
Okay, I
Yes.
got a bunch of chills. So yes, she's Native American.
So did I.
that's a,
So did I.
Yeah.
So before the family moved in, we lived here with our
Question, because on the way here, I got a few things because I do have.
Oh,
Oh.
it's now doing green. Or maybe you're close.
I don't
I'm
know
not-
if she's up.
I'm
Now,
over
let me
there.
see.
Oh,
No.
No. Wow.
you were talking about the things you had on the way
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
just hates me because I'm close.
Maybe.
Like
Really
the-
like me.
so I do have some abilities. So and I do like energy work and I do Reiki and I work with like angels, archangels, ascended masters, like your spirit guides, my spirit guides. So I have a very close relationship with like who I work with when I do stuff. And I get a lot of stuff when I do my sessions, but once in a while before like a session or like an investigation or even watching like a ghost show, I will get stuff. Okay. So I got on the way about how somebody died. Okay. So my
Oh, damn.
yes. So I'm gonna ask if she possibly died what I got, because it could have been anybody. So I'm not sure exactly who it was. Did you die to an injury to your head? So I'm getting like, it was like,
Is that real?
Yes.
it was like something was like a tumor, like my head was like freaking killing me on the way here. So it was just like right here, it's like brain cancer, a head trauma, a tumor.
All right, so I'm going to pause right here. I know we're almost done with the video, but in this whole thing, Luis was just talking about some of the feelings she got before she even arrived, but we also wanted to touch on something else that we got. I know it's really hard to see, it's really dark, but talk about what you were going to talk about, Luis.
Yeah, so during the dowsing rod session, the lady who was in the room with us, she would mostly just answer the questions from all the females. And then when Guy or Matt asked questions, it was like she refused to answer them. So, and then we asked, like, do you like men? And it went away for no. So she had issues with guys, apparently. And she would only answer my questions or Kelly's questions. I think you asked a couple too. I'm not sure. I knew you were mostly filming. But yeah, she only would really speak to the females in the group. So I found that quite interesting. And everybody in the room did see the difference from like when we asked questions and when the guys asked questions. So it was really interesting, so I don't know what the issue behind that really was, like, what happened in her lifetime, we're not sure,
Right.
but we did get that she was, Native American, like from the land, that she was there a while, and she was protecting the baby that lived there at that one time. So and the family didn't want any investigators or anybody coming in and messing with that, because she knew she was there with good intentions and she was protecting her little girl. So, and that's another thing too, like when you go into investigations, you have to be very respectful about the owners, so you can't just go in there and start cleansing and clearing out a space, because, some of these spirits are not bad, they're for protection, they're guides, they're there for a reason, even the bad ones, so they didn't want anybody messing with her. Well, because they were talking about doing investigations, and the family upstairs refused. They absolutely did not want anybody in there compromising any of that relationship between the daughter and the spirit. So I thought that was really cool, because a lot of people don't really, oh, ghosts are creepy, they're scary. And like, it could just be, it's just spirit. It's just a spirit. Some have bad intentions, but for the most part, we've only encountered, we have encountered some darker stuff, unfortunately, but like, I know my grandparents and my parents are around me all the time, and I would never want anybody to try to sage them or get rid of them. They're there for a reason. They're there to protect. They're there to guide, So, yeah. So, and we went in there and we went in respectfully, like we always do. And she was very active with the females. So I thought it was pretty cool. So.
And then, Jens, to answer your question, the thing that was lighting up green and red, that's called a REM pod. And that responds to an electric energy. So if a spirit gets near it and it has an energy to it, that thing will just start lighting up like a Christmas tree. When it starts going red and green, something's like really close to it. And then there's the other handheld electric meter as well. And you'll see that go from green to really like orange and red. And that
Yeah.
also means that something is closer. And
Yeah.
that's what we kind of used in our last investigation, where it really answered our questions using that electric meter. And
Yeah.
that was the first time I'd really experienced that.
Yeah.
Almost like using the rods, but they used the meter to communicate. So
The K2 is a really cool tool. It's one of my favorites for sure. The REM pod, I like that one as well. But the K2 is a little bit more quieter and it doesn't like screech at you like the REM pod does, you know? So, the K2 and the REM pod are also really good tools. You know, we're fortunate to have some of the better equipment. You know, when we first started, we had nothing. We just had like cameras and voice recorders. And now we have, multiple things to choose from. And we're hoping to get a couple of newer things. I'll have to show you. I've just found something on Amazon that I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. So I'll have to send you that later. But, the more fun tools you have, the better evidence that you get, or, anything to help the owners or family, any tools that you can use, we like to utilize as much as we can, and I take, ideas from different ghost hunting shows, because they have the money to buy all the really cool stuff,
Right.
so, but K2 is a really good one, and it definitely is responsive, but I think the rods are probably my favorite for sure.
I like the REM pod when you just kind of forget it's there. And maybe you're using the rods and you're focusing on that. And so it's just still in the background doing its job. And then all of a sudden it starts going off and it's like, okay, so something is here. I can keep focusing on what I'm focusing on and not just the rods. So it's kind of almost like a good backup for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Versus your primary tool that you're using at the time.
Yeah, we definitely use multiple tools at the same time. Because mostly I would be on the rods and then somebody else on the team would have something different. So everybody on the team is utilizing something at the same time, or I might have like a voice recorder next to me, but I'm usually always on my rods. I have tried pendulums before. I have better luck with the rods for sure. So, and I do want to play with pendulums a little bit more. And then I also want to use, get my scrying mirror out a little bit more as well. So, but we use the scrying mirror at the second time at this location.
Right.
And that was an interesting experience for sure. Only for the females of the group. The guys didn't have to go through any of that. The girls just had it. But it was, it was interesting. So
awesome. All right, let me get this back to playing and we'll finish out the video and we will close.
Or something to do with the head.
She just said yes.
That's a full yes.
Oh my God. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
That was legit?
So ask her if
She died here. You can ask her.
Yeah. Go ahead. Whoever wants to say anything, go
I
for it.
can't. She doesn't respond to me.
Joanne, go ahead.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do you miss the baby that was here with you? What?
Wow. Oh my God.
Because she loves Kelly.
Oh, it said yes strongly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
So I'm gonna ask, so go ahead and reset.
Wow.
Sorry.
No.
I have sweaty hands and I'm not even holding them.
Do you want to?
No, I'm good.
I have a question. Okay, so the baby that you protected while you were here, was her name Genesis?
Her?
you. Thank you.
That shit just said yes.
Good job. Thank you.
Again, there's only a handful of people that knew the family lived here and the names. Only a handful. So that's.
How are we feeling?
I don't know. There's definitely unexplained stuff, and I wasn't nervous. When the parent ghost, who's an apparent female up there, spoke to you, she went crazy. And I know you wouldn't manipulate anything in any way, so that was like,
Okay.
wow. She's actually answering questions that she couldn't have known unless she was there. So I'm there.
Are you a
There.
believer?
No, I'm not going there yet. I'm on my way, and I need to get outside and just see like atmosphere.
Real people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What do you think?
I think I need to text Kelly and say, hey, let's do another one.
I know the season is coming upon us, and
I usually get a text around this time of the year, like, let's go do something, because they always want to do something around October.
Around Halloween. Pretty cool. Well, Luis, I can't say enough, a million times. Thank you for involving us and trusting us and sharing with us, and even more giving us your time tonight. What's next? So we were kind of talking, and we had mentioned this a ways back, but why don't you tell us what you're going to help us with next?
Well, we want to kind of touch base on like responsible ghost hunting, meaning things that you should do and not do, how to protect yourself. Because a lot of people don't go into this with respect like they need to. And then there's a difference between locations. If it's a home, you are strictly there to help that homeowner and that family. It's not to go into and like, oh, I'm going to have a fun time and get something cool on video or whatnot. It is to help that family. That's it, bottom line. If they want stuff gone, you try to do anything you can to get that gone. If it's like a public place like the Kellogg house, you would not go in there and sage the house. That's not happening. So there's things that you should do and not do, and we would love to like share our experiences or the protection prayers or what protections that I place upon like my team members or the home, or different things that I've learned over the years with my abilities and other things that I've learned over, like cord cuttings or attachments or whatnot. I have worked on people with attachments before. So that's, you have to place heavy protections on yourself when you go into a place that definitely has a darker energy, and, it's just, you go in with respect because you don't know if it's safe. You have to protect yourself, because even if you do protect yourself, if you go into an investigation vulnerable, meaning sick, if you're unhealthy, if you have a cold or you have a flu, like that. I went to an investigation where I wasn't feeling good. My defenses were down and I got jumped. Luckily, it didn't do more than that, but you can't just go in thinking like, oh, this is something for fun. I think that's when we first started. That was how it was. We definitely thought like, oh, this is a cool thing. This is fun. I want to be like ghost hunters or whatnot, not ghost adventures, but ghost hunters or like dead filers or something. You go in with respect, first of all, to the homeowners, to the property owners, to the spirits themselves and your team. You don't want to go in there provoking and stirring stuff up, because then you get a leave, but the family does not get a leave, or the homeowner or the property owners or whoever has to go into that space daily still has to deal with whatever's there. Especially if it's bad, you go in with respect and you protect yourself. So we would love to share our experiences and what we do and what we don't do, and get into kind of more depth with that. Or if you have any more questions, I can send people the protection prayers or the cleansings, but you have to be very careful too. If it's a darker spirit and you're doing a cleansing, you have to be very, very thorough. Very thorough. You can't, pardon me, half it. You can't, because these people need to deal with these issues. You want to you leave that home better than what you walked into. So I think it's very important that people understand that it's not a hobby, really. Because someone is trusting you to come into their home, basically the one we did. The one we did, where was it? Marietta or something like that, was way up there,
Valley.
Yeah. There you go. I met her I saw her post on a Facebook group that she needed help. And a lot of people were kind of giving their 2 cents, but not really listening to her, and then also she had a team tell her oh, well, we'll do it for $300. No. See, I don't think that's ethical. First of all, in my opinion, if these people need help them,
Yeah, exactly.
and I leave all of my clients with the tools that they need to protect or cleanse after we're gone. So they're just not left hanging. Here's this, here's that. And, this is what you need to continue it. It's not 100% guarantee that something's going to go away, but they have to place protections themselves and to put the effort into ridding their home of whatever is there, and sometimes it's not even a bad thing. Like I said, my parents and my grandparents are with me all the time. I would never want somebody to come in here and sage my home. Heck no. All of these spirits around me are needed, so you have to be very aware of
I think
how
that's
you go
exactly
into it.
the point, is that there's just a lot going on. And
Yeah.
and definitely. So I think in a couple weeks we'll put one together. So for our ghost story night, we're going to put something together with some resources to reach out for, or we will leave in a way that they can be accessed. Maybe specific things, links to specific things, so people can make that purchase of maybe things they need. Like she said, the prayers for protection, when to do them, which ones to do, et cetera, et cetera. So I think on our next ghost story night, as we're leading up into this season, and we are definitely seeing a lot of people just kind of run out there and do it. And so coming, from kind of a service heart, hey, absolutely, go do, have the fun. But here, maybe take a look at these tools and maybe change your mindset a little bit, and and go about it a little differently. So we're going to put that together for in a couple of weeks. And that'll be our next ghost story night. And, she'll be able to share, I'm sure, some experiences that go with why we're doing this, or I'm doing this because one time this happened, or, so it'll kind of tie in, I'm sure, with ghost stories, but kind of a public service announcement, if you will.
Yeah, because not a lot of people talk about the do's and the don'ts at all, and then even some museum, kind of like the Lizzie Borden house. I think Dead Files went there, and she said that they're mad because you're there's a Ouija board in there. Some of these spirits just want peace. They don't want to be messed with all the time, you know, or provoked, you know. Um, and like doing constant ghost tours or investigations can, you know, wear down some of the spirits, and they're just like they're sick of it, because a lot of people don't go into these respectfully, you know. And what was the other thing? I had it in my head. I forgot. What was it? Oh, and there was another location that we went to. It was really cool, but they weirdly enough, it was Linda Vista Hospital in like Boyle Heights. And me and Matt had been there like 2 or 3 times, and then they turned it into like an old folks like retirement community. And I'm like, okay. But before that, there was a team that was, you know, associated with the location, and they would hold like zombie proms inside, you know. And to me, sometimes that, you know, or like if a location does like a haunted house inside of it, you know, there's what line do you cross, or you know, it's like, what do, you know, because people, it's places like that, they want to make money.
Yep.
You know, so they're not really thinking about should I or shouldn't I.
Exactly. So we're excited to put that together. Maybe, Luis, as you're going along for the next couple weeks, when something comes to mind, get a notepad going in your phone and jot those down. So we can present as much as we possibly can for those going forward. And maybe it can be shared as a tool for others to look at and use with whatever it is that they're doing going forward.
Yeah, and then maybe we can even do like cemetery investigation, where people can use the equipment and the tools and get a firsthand experience of like how to use them, or what to do, what not to do, you know. So that could definitely, you know, we could do that one day soon. You know, I do have a wedding to plan for, so maybe after
that would be cool.
You know, so we have I have a lot to do for this wedding.
You've got a lot going on. I know, and we're just piling more on you, but
it's okay. I mean, the show that we were supposed to have on Saturday, it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
You know, I won't be out in the heat for 14 hours on Saturday. That's a win, you know, and you know, free up some time to work on what I need to work on, and focus on what gives me joy.
That's right.
So, you know, because why put energy into something that's not going to make you happy anymore?
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
I don't do that no more.
I know we definitely, like Christina here, we definitely have some interest. So we'll get a date on the calendar and give us some time to, you know, quote unquote, market it to the others.
Yeah,
so
I know Tanaya wants to do one too. Yeah. She's been wanting to go. It would I'm thinking we might have to go find Bigfoot again.
There you go. That would be fun.
Very nice.
By Bigfoot, she's talking about the haunted forest.
Yes, haunted forest.
And that was just something going on out there.
That or Bigfoot's gonna find us.
He might find us. I know.
Yeah, that was just like, seriously, it was all 4 of us in a row just staring. We're like, what the heck? And like, and we're just like, go. It was just like, and that's not a place that you run, because the landscape is so messed up from like the heavy rains, you know, and like there's potholes everywhere. So that's someplace you don't run, because it's not safe.
Our gear together, our flashlights and our stuff together, and
I think that would be a good spot, and maybe even like stargaze and see if there's anything else up there. You never know. So,
Luis, thank you so much a million times for your time tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage, and we're going to close out here. So we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Yes. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
You got it. Good night, hun. Talk to you soon.
Yes.
All right. You guys, thank you for hanging out with us and revisiting our first mortuary experience with Luis. I know a lot of it's dark, but you can kind of hear some of those intense moments in the background. You can hear it in our voices. you could hear Guy, who was not a believer at all, go into this so skeptical and get a little freaked out by what was going on. And definitely, I'm sure when he went home that evening, his wheels were spinning, so to say. What's next for us? What are we doing next? So
Tomorrow is, for any of you hardcore Disneyland Haunted Mansion fans out there, tomorrow is Haunted Mansion's big birthday. It's a birthday, nonetheless. They're all big birthdays, but so happy early birthday to Haunted Mansion. We will be visiting Disneyland tomorrow. It's our first time since
we went for the chalk walk, but the kids haven't been since June.
Since summertime, since summer started.
It's the first time as a family, and we're going to be bringing the living dead grandbaby with us. And so it'll be a park stream. We haven't done a good old-fashioned park stream in a while.
A Disneyland park stream.
A Disneyland park stream. So we will be in the parks tomorrow. And then obviously we're going to be putting together the, class, for a lack of better words, our public service announcement, if you will, as everyone is getting geared up for the season. It was on our hearts. I know we talked about it during our campfire ghost stories. It's just been on our hearts to give people some resources and share, because maybe it's just things that you don't think about. And anything else, obviously the season's coming up. We are constantly going to the stores and bombarding you guys with all the fun animatronics and Halloween decor we possibly can.
So stay on the lookout, because we're just throwing videos out there. We're not doing lives. We're just, because they're really
vlogging.
Short. That's vlog style type of uploads. So
which is how we kind of started our channel before we ever went live.
Our intentions were just to do like some fun, what do you call it? Just all the Halloween stuff in the stores, all the merchandise. And then it just kind of grew into a live stream channel. But we have our love for Halloween is the reason why we did this channel in the meantime. So, hey, Christina Holmes, thank you so much.
Thank you for being a member for 3 months. We appreciate you guys so much. Every one of you. Stay tuned tomorrow. I think we've got some memberships to give out. And so maybe we can do that while we're in the parks tomorrow. Anything else? Just our constant love of sharing, like little children going into the big box stores and seeing all the fun, spooky stuff. And we love sharing it. So thank you guys for putting up with us during the season. I can imagine we're a lot, but I hope we are your thing, your spooky source for all things spooky. And
I know this today was kind of just a different from our typical platform that we do for ghost stories, but we love to hear from you guys too. So if you guys have if you're new to our channel,
Charles Craig.
If you guys are new here, if you just stumbled upon our channel, welcome in. We do love doing ghost stories every other Thursday. So, and we pretty much depend and rely on you guys to send in your ghost stories to us. So please send them to our email address at livingdeadfamily@gmail.com. And we can read those back on our live stream. Or if you have the capabilities, you can audio record your ghost story to us. So there's all kinds of ways to send that in to us. You can send it in without your name if you just want to remain anonymous. That's perfectly fine. We respect your privacy as well. So, but it's fun. We've built this little haunted community here in our channel. So we want to share our love for ghost stories with you guys as well. So please, send those ghost stories in. It doesn't just have to be ghosts. If you guys have had experiences with anything of the supernatural, like aliens, cryptids, or just something out of the ordinary that's just not making sense. Time slips, right? There's so many things out there. I listen to a lot of ghost story podcasts, and there's so many things that are just really odd and just head scratcher type of stories out there. So if you guys have any experience like that, gosh, we would love to hear from you guys. So thank you guys. We've had a few of you guys send in your ghost submissions already. So thank you. for those of you that had done that. But other than that, I think that's about it, right?
I think that's it. So we'll see you guys tomorrow in the parks and in a couple of weeks. And what else? You never know when we're going to pop in and out. And
yeah, just turn those notifications on so you know when we upload a store walkthrough tour with all the Halloween Code Orange goodness in our stores, or when we happen to just go live at Disneyland or Knott's or any other theme park. We got Hallow Screams coming up as well. So there's it's going to be a busy
the haunted hayride
few months. Haunted hayrides coming up. Yeah, we'll try to hit as much as we can. Can't guarantee we'll hit all the theme parks. There's just there's so much to do.
There's so much to do.
And so little time. I think Halloween these parks need to be year round.
Thank you, Barbie. So thank you guys for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you guys
a little later.
You guys have a good night. Thank you again.